How do you know that you're doing absolutely no damage but you're hitting everyone in War Robots? That's when you get tons of assists without ever making a kill yourself. And there is no better way to do that than to run Pentagrul and Gargantua on your Titan. We're running the Bersagliere, the robot that Titan I've recently made one of the most powerful kill videos with the new Hugin weapon, and now we're running the Gargantua on it. You'd think that those 3 heavy alpha weapons would perform well on a Titan that can do so much damage, but it couldn't be further from the truth. I'm sorry to tell you, my friend, but as much as I would like these weapons to do well, they are absolutely awful. They feel like so mediocre. It's like firing level 1 Punishers at the enemy. It's like you're just doing no damage to them. You can see how the 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 of damage ticks up, where other weapons do 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. This one goes 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. There just is no damage in this weapon. It is insane how slow it just deals damage. And yeah, it has a few advantages, namely that it does not need to target an enemy to hit them. You can hit multiple people in front of you, but sorry to say that, but Striker can do that too, and Hunin and Mugen can do that as well. You don't need to have a weapon that trades 0 damage output for the ability to hit multiple targets, right? But that is basically what you're doing with the Gargantua. And that's a bit sad, because I think this weapon could be a really interesting choice, because it can hit things that are in stealth, you know? So it would be one of the very few weapons that could potentially drop a Dux robot or many other things out of their stealth ability and kill them still, while ignoring the stealth. But as a matter of fact, with this weapon setup, unfortunately, you're even weaker than a Dux robot is in many situations. You're just not bringing the damage output to the table. And again, although you can hit things in stealth, what's the point if you're not really doing damage? I mean, look at this. I've fired at 5 seconds and I did 100k damage to him. That is nothing in War Robots times today. Even a regulator build will do like 500,000 in 3-4 seconds at 800 meters, right? So yeah, and you see I'm trying to escape here. I'm chanceless. And the only damage that came in on this Minos was the damage that came in once the regulator build next to me opened fire. My damage output was so marginal, I barely did make a dent into that enemy Titan. And yeah, so but if you get into the situation, and we'll get there later, where you can hit an entire team in front of you, I feel like the weapon in this situation can actually begin to perform somewhat decently, but that is pretty much the only situation where you'd like to have this weapon. I mean, look at this. I can't even deal the damage that he's counter-healing. No way. I'm firing for 10 seconds and I haven't even done 300,000 damage, right? And then it lagged. But yeah, so I wish this weapon was awesome. Unfortunately, and that is also kind of the point of this video, I want to make you guys aware, do not upgrade this weapon, okay? If you get it, if you happen to draw it out of a box or whatever, just don't take it, because this here might be a decent situation to be in, but even here, you're seeing that I'm not really getting a kill. I'm not getting kills, I'm not doing a lot of damage, I'm just hitting everybody with a little bit of damage. That's all I'm doing. So, please be aware whenever you get this weapon, as my viewers, I want you to know that it is not worth upgrading this one. Okay, it is really, really bad. It's an awful weapon, and there are many other weapons that are better to spend your credits and resources in upgrading, okay? Nonetheless, this video was about this Titan and this topic, and funny, the interesting thing is that very recently we've had a video about the same Titan, just with different weapons performing exceptionally well, right? So there you see how much difference it can make to have just a different weapon on it. And yeah, so do not invest into this one, please. With your hard-earned credits in-game. Would be a shame to see you go put it to waste. Which reminds me of one more thing that I really wish. Remember, we had this big list of rebalance changes. I really was secretly hoping for the ultimate version of Squall. The ultimate Squall that was given out with the ultimate Minos. For this one to become, you know, a little more useful. Yeah, I'm being followed. He knows that I'm very weak and I'm not really an enemy to him, so he just follows me everywhere. And I'm just hiding between my Titan friends so I can survive, because I wouldn't be able to fight this guy with his weapons. Yeah, so what was I going to say? Damn it, I forgot. Alright, maybe I come back to it in a second. Guy came in and disrupted my thinking. I love the mobility on the Bersagliere, by the way. Oh yeah, I was gonna say the Ultimate Squall. I was hoping there was gonna be that there's a buff in there. I mean, just compare Ultimate Squall to Ultimate Grom. What the heck? It's like 1/10 of the damage output or whatever. Like it's like nothing, right? How is it that this ultimate weapon does not have like 60% of the weapon damage output or 70% that of the heavy version that war robots normally have? Here comes the one very cool moments about this setup. There's a Loki and I can just kill him in his stealth because I don't care. You know, that is one of the very rare, really cool moments about it, where I felt good about having it. Also here, the Ravager that's trying to, you know, be in stealth, but I'm seeing him, or well, not seeing him, but I can hit him. So this is where the weapon really does a great job, but unfortunately it's not worth putting a weapon with 0 damage output on it just for that tiny bit of, you know, upside that it can provide in some situations. Yeah. So, yeah, what do you think about Gargantua Pantagruel? Also something where I would say if Pixonic would do a thorough job, then this weapon would be in the list of changes with a massive buff to it, right? It should be. How is it that a weapon that is seemingly in the same category of effect, of weapons, having so much less performance in every possible way compared to other weapons, right? And I realize that this weapon also heals you back, right? We need to keep that in mind. When you do damage with this weapon, you heal yourself your HP. But you only heal the regular HP, not the gray one. And you typically in War Robots now, we have so many ways of healing HP, so many passive and strong healings, that typically we don't really have a problem with that, right? Our gray HP is usually the reason why we end up dying, because that's the health we can't get back. And so being able to heal some of that regular damage before, it's nice and all, but it's not that big of a difference that it makes, you know, that will bring this weapon back to some sort of glory. Unfortunately not. So here I was really hoping for a big buff actually for these weapons. Sadly, none of them were included, as well as the Ultimate Squall, where I was hoping they will get Grom and Squall a little closer together in terms of how they perform. Obviously not the same, but a little closer, you know? But yeah, also here, tell me what you think about that suggestion of making Ultimate Squall somewhat more useful, and of course the Gargantua Pantagruel, they could really use it. But here at the end, a little showcase of how tricky the Bersagliere is and how well you can escape with it. I love it. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Catch you in the next video, and Manni signing off. Bye bye, my friends.